Good afternoon, everyone. Today's topic is remove religion. And the reason why I say remove religion, I speak to everybody from experience. I'm going to give you a little bit about background, who I am. My name is Natasha Slack. I am a domestic overcomer. I was in a domestic violence relationship for 9 years. But I ended up carrying the weight from that relationship. I ended up carrying the weight from a lot of things that happened in my life into my adulthood. And me carrying that stuff into my adulthood, it kept me from understanding what my purpose was in this life. So I'm gonna explain how God is. God is very, a lot of time people go through things in life, they want to blame other people or they want to blame God for the situations they're in. And God had to show me a lot about my life, his presence in my life. Everything was based off my own decisions in life. But he had to show me how to heal. He had to show me how to heal. My outlet of healing, I actually have a book on Amazon about what I went through with my domestic violence situation. I also did collaboration with a group of other authors, and I'm also a life skills coach. So I don't speak to you outside of my neck. I speak from experience. And the reason why I say remove religion is because I felt a void in my life for a long time, and I didn't know what that void was. So I started searching for God, and I started searching for him within the churches. And the thing with religion is that religion will pull you away from the churches. Religion will pull you away from God's word. I had to stop focusing on the religion of it, and I had to start focusing on building a personal relationship with God, because me building my own personal relationship with God was helping me to understand not only who he was, but it was also helping me to understand who I was in him. And it kicked off my healing process. Like, God will literally, he's very gentle. He will not force you to do anything in life. We all have our own choices. That's why he give us free will. And he allowed me to keep on making the decisions that I was making until life basically brought me down to my knees and begged for him to come help me. And that's the whole thing. We don't have to go to God and beg. We don't have to do all that. God will come. You ask for him, he's gonna come. He's gonna show you what you need to do. The only thing is that we have to pay attention. We have to pay close attention, because his spirit is embedded in each one of us. Everybody have a piece of God's spirit. Everybody. That's how he communicates with us. A lot of times we ignore it. A lot of times we say, something told me, or intuition. It's not your intuition. It's not something told you. It's actually the Spirit of God alerting you for a situation or whatever it is that's going on at that time. And he really got me to a place to where I was able to really connect with him in a way that not only made me sit down writing that book, he also, with a lot. The whole thing is when I did begin searching for him, he downloaded into me the visions for my life, my life's purpose, which was to write, which is to speak, which is to write, and for safe havens for women and children. And the thing about your purpose is, once you get locked in on your purpose and what you want to do in life, it's like I ended up having tunnel vision. I didn't see nothing else but that. The whole thing was I didn't know how to begin on my path. I still was trying to do everything by my own strength and by my own power. So it was still difficult for me to even embark on starting to write, starting to speak, because instead of me actually sitting down and asking God how he wanted me to do this, I was trying to figure it out on my own. Because a lot of times when we go through life, we're so used to doing everything on our own that a lot of us have a hard time with asking God to help us. And he's waiting for us to come to him and ask him to help us. Religion is confusing. Like, I had the worst time in these churches, and experiences, because it was not only confusing me, it was pulling me away from him, because I couldn't understand anything. I couldn't understand anything. But then when I did finally find a church that I can grow in, and it was easy for me to relate to, the people in the church, I began to be dependent on the word coming from the pastor. I depended on having Bible study every Wednesday, and God didn't want that for me. Like, he made it hard for me to even get to church at that time. So I took it as, sit down, I needed to start learning and building my own relationship with God personally, to get into his word. I'm actually on a 100-day challenge now, to read something from the Bible every single day. You don't have to sit down and read 1-2 hours. I have to start off small, because if I read too much in one day, I know that I would just fall off from it. So I put myself on a 100-day challenge to read something, at least a passage every single day. I set my alarm clock at 5 in the morning to get up, read, focus on him for about 15 minutes, which my spiritual sister brought to my attention. I focus on him. It started off at 7 minutes a day. I do it now 15 minutes or more a day, because now that the 15 minutes be up, I actually just continue to focus on God, because when we focus on God, he brings us ideas. He brings us ways to do what we need to do. I was at a point in life where I was all over the board. I've worked in healthcare for over 20 years. I've worked in real estate. I've done taxes. I've done massages. I had this feeling like none of it, everything that I was trying to do, I still had that feeling deep down, like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So it was like a discontent feeling. It was like a unsettling feeling of discontent, because I knew that what I was doing at that time was not what I was supposed to be doing. So once I really started delving into my writing, started delving into my speaking, it brought a certain peace over me. I knew deep down inside that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's why I reopened my YouTube page to be more consistent. I had a podcast where my voice was streaming. I'm facing my biggest fear doing this, because one thing that I didn't like, I'm not gonna say I don't like, one thing I didn't like, one thing I feared the most was speaking in front of people on video, publicly, however. But this is me facing my fear. Actually, I'm meeting my fear head on with doing these videos, and it's helping me a lot to build my confidence up. It's helping me a lot to make sure everything is how I need it to be. What else did I want to talk about? The journey is not the easiest journey. Anybody who know and have ever been on a journey, or is on a journey, or has gotten a long way in a journey, it's difficult. It's not easy. You have to be really strong, because real life situations still come about. And that's the thing. When I accepted God, I was that person. I didn't grow up in a house where we had to go to church. It wasn't mandatory that we go to church on Sundays. It was nothing. So when I finally told God yes in 2016 to following him, and when I said yes to the visions he downloaded in me, it was like all hell broke loose at that time. All hell broke loose. Like, I lost everything. I had to start over from the bottom of the barrel. Literally. I was living in Georgia at that time. I had to move back to Chicago, which I dreaded. I did not want to do. It was the most difficult decision for me to make, because I was so worried about people's opinion of me, what they thought about me. And at the end of the day, I had to get over that and constantly remind myself that this is my journey. I'm the only one that can walk in these shoes. I'm the only one who can live my life for me. So why should I have to depend on anybody else's opinion or what they think of me? And it helps me. You have to tell yourself every day. You have to speak positive to yourself every single day. You know, even when God helped me to spark my healing. You know, healing, it comes in increments. It's not something that's gonna happen all at once. You know, when I started my healing process, I didn't understand that at first, and I didn't know that I wasn't all the way healed until a person, like, I got these trigger points, and it was making me revert back to the person that I didn't want to be no more. So anytime someone can get you to that point of reverting back to the person that you no longer want to be, you have to remove that person or people or things or whatever from your life, because you don't want to keep that type of company, because you're trying to evolve and you don't want to backslide to where you already leveled up from. You know, I'm gonna speak more about my domestic violence situation on another video, but I really wanted this video to be about removing religion for anybody that's struggling with it, anybody that's struggling to get closer to God. One way that I actually like really got close to God, people don't understand, is fasting. The very first time that I fasted, when I very first fasted, I did it for 2 days. I didn't drink anything. I didn't eat anything for 2 days. I didn't do the fast properly. You know, I was just learning about fast, so I just didn't like intake anything at those times. So when I did do that 2-day fast, like, how I perceived my situation from that domestic violence situation that happened, God showed me a whole different side of it. Like, he showed me that he was there with me. He showed me that the decisions that I was making at that time, because I was kidnapped during that you know, at the end of that relationship, he was showing me that the decisions that I was making was not my own. It was his spirit telling me to not do something or to do something, because at that time my life depended on it. Like, my abuser was on a murder-suicide mission. And I thought, before I fasted, I was thinking to myself when I had wrote that book, that, like, damn, you was stupid. Like, why didn't you run at this time? Why you didn't run at this time? But God was showing me that if I had ran, he was either gonna shoot me. If he had got away, and I had got away, he was coming back, and he was coming back with more force. So I wouldn't have been safe until he was in police custody, which he ended up killing a police officer. He ended up killing a police officer, and they ended up killing him. That's how demented and that's how demonic he had became. But that's how deep it goes with God. Like, when you sacrifice, fasting is a sacrifice. Like, you taking everything away that you are so used to, the foods, social media, phone, TV, music. Like, you only, for those 2 days, I was only taking in sermons, podcasts, anything that was positive to feed my mind. And that's the thing, when you start your healing process, everything has to start changing. Like, your mind has to start changing. You have to check your heart every so often, like really often. You have to check your heart to make sure you're still in it, that you're still on your journey for the right reasons. You have to check your spirit. Like, these things have to be a constant check. These things have to be a constant build up. Like, you have to build up everything. It's like everything that's not of God, everything that is not serving your purpose has to be extracted from you internally and externally. The external had already happened, but internal, the internal work is the hardest work. It is the hardest work because it's an everyday job. This is something that you have to work on every single day, because I found myself not wanting to watch certain things on TV if it wasn't a motivational podcast, if it wasn't something revolved around God's word. It had to be something positive that my brain was receiving, because any little small thing of negativity that gets into your mind, it can fester and it can grow if you don't know how to retract, like really redirect your thoughts. And that was something that I recently started learning how to do, was learning how to redirect my thoughts, not letting nothing negative sit on my mind for too long. You have to like immediately pop in something positive, say something positive to yourself, but you have to get something positive into your brain to redirect those negative thoughts. So I don't like really associate myself with religion. I just work on my own personal relationship with God, because that's the most important relationship in my life, and He is the reason that I am at this point in my life now. I am very grateful that my healing has came about. I'm very grateful that, you know, He has kept me in every way, like He has kept me in every way. And that's why I revived this channel, because I know that there's other people out here that can relate to what I'm saying, that can understand. And I really want to get into that domestic violence situation, you know, to help another woman possibly get away from hers. You know, in mine, at the end, it came to the point of I had to play the fool to fool a fool, because had I not, I wouldn't be sitting here today. But at the same time, I didn't accept my abuser's fate for my life, because I still had a strong will to live at the end of the day. You know, just lock in on your purpose, build your relationship with God, and just stay positive every day as much as you possibly can. And just redirect your thoughts if something negative comes into your mind. It is very important, because our mind is what's going to help us carry us through our journey. We need it. But you guys have a great day. I will talk to you guys. I'm going to do a 100-day challenge. So I'm going to do, might not be as long as this video or the next one. But I will be doing a 100-day challenge of popping on here, doing a video every single day for the next 100 days. Well, no, for the next 98 days, because I did one yesterday. I'm doing one, and I'm doing this now. But for the next 98 days. So you guys have a blessed day, an awesome week. Just stay positive. Love you guys.